Before we go any further, I need to address the elephant in the room. Dutch mythology is very hard to research, because most of it is word of mouth. There are no definitive answers. There are of course exceptions. Keep that in mind. Enjoy. Morgen everybody. My name is a Dutchman with Dutchman pride, and I welcome you to Everything Dutch. Today we will be taking a look at mythology, especially about the Zwarte Juffer, aka the Black Lady or the Graveyard Lady. This is an old entity living in the Netherlands, Groningen. And I am aware that it's very hard to pronounce Groningen for non-Dutch people. So I will be calling Groningen Grun. And Groningers, aka the people that live there, Grunsmen. To make it a little easier. With that out of the way, let's move on to the myth. The myth. Like I said before, this old entity lives in the Netherlands, Grun. And it's also, though very rarely seen, in East Frisia. Old stories state that she appears in the form of a grieving widow, complete with mourning gown to punish people who don't visit their dead relatives. Ouch, that's harsh. Under the gown, apparently, is a black-haired pale face with a barely visible nose and a small mouth with pointy teeth on both top and lower jaw. And, lastly, there are two black holes where her eyes should be. Whatever you do, do not look her in the eyes. Ever. You will regret it. Should you have the misfortune of looking in her eyes, there are three possible scenarios that could play out. Keep in mind that these all depend on where you meet her in Grun. Scenario 1. Someone in your family will soon depart from the world of the living. And then, right after, she'll disappear. Scenario 2. If you meet her at a cemetery in central Grun, and you so happen to do the same thing, someone you love more than your family will die, and she will disappear, cackling into the night. And finally, scenario 3. In the far east part of Grun, the end result is so different it kind of baffles me. She embraces you and gives you comfort, and after a while you and her disappear, never to be seen again. Keep in mind that most of these go word to mouth, and sadly I couldn't find any concrete evidence for scenario 2 and 3. I could find one for scenario 1, and I quote, Zwarte Juffer, aka Black Lady, appears in Grun and Frisia, an evil spectre in the form of a grieving lady, dressed in all black. She brings misfortune. If you see her, someone in your family will perish soon. A quote by Abe J. van der Veen. Sighting and locations. The first sighting of the Black Lady was on April 23, 1880 by a Grunsman only known as the Khan. Though I couldn't find any proof of this. It's like the guy didn't exist. Go figure. The entity can appear on any graveyard in East and West Grun. Also in Central Grun, but very rarely. She'll be standing at a random grave, crying in order to attract victims. The apparent last known location or sighting was in 1999 at RK Cemetery, Boven, Oosterdiep, by a man named Fred Woudarm, who claimed that he saw her crying at a gravestone, and soon after, his wife died. I did some further research into this guy and his story, but I can't seem to find him. It's like he disappeared. Very strange. And there you have it. I hope you found it interesting. On a side note, I'm well aware that this entity does not have that much lore. But I wanted to start with something easy for my first video in forever. Hope you liked it. And if you did, hit the like button. And if I missed anything, comment it down below. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!